Welcome to East Coast Averages, the podcast that brings you stories from everyday people from all around the world. Recorded on the east coast of Australia, I'm your host Nick, and each week we'll sit down with average people who have unique stories to tell. Let's peek over the back fence and see what's happening in other people's lives. I never know what I'm going to discover until I sit down and start chatting to them. Today's guest fits the bill perfectly for the East Coast Averages, and that's not to say he's an average person, but he's just probably the typical Australian bloke, just a nice guy, works hard, loves his family, loves his downtime, loves going fishing, easy to talk to, will stand and have a chat with you for as long as you want to and have a chat to you about most subjects. And you also fly kites. You had me at flying kites, Darren. I've got a fella I'm chatting to. He is the dad of one of my son's best mates, and his name's Darren. How are you, Darren?
Yeah, good, man. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
That's good. Thank you.
What's your story, mate? Spill it.
Spill it? All right. So I was born in Leone back in the 69.
Leone at the bottom of the mountains.
Bottom of the mountains, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, before there was many houses there. And then hung around Penrith for a while, and then we moved out to a place called Leeton. And and we had a Toyota dealership out at Leeton, and then we came back to...
So your dad was the local car dealer?
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
Yeah. Him and another bloke bought a car dealership out there and headed out to Leeton. And
where's Leeton? That's out near
Leeton's out near Griffith.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah. So we stayed out there for a couple of years and ended up coming back to Penrith and then heading up the Central Coast for a while.
You didn't. You haven't got like a prized Toyota Corona sitting in the fucking garage somewhere from your old man,
brother. Surprisingly, and I'll tell you, digressing for a minute. My late grandfather, bought a car. I think it was a Toyota Corolla or Corona. No, Toyota Corona, off Dad. And as time goes on, when we went to sell it after my grandfather passed away, or prior to that, prior to him passing away, we had to sell it. And it still had the bloody original tyres on it.
Man.
Man. It only did like 5,000 Ks a year or something.
Hell.
It was pretty much brand new. You could pretty much smell the newness in it still.
How long did you sell that? Did you make much money on it? Like,
look, I really don't remember.
Now you'd fucking get heaps of money for those.
Yeah,
cars,
totally. Yeah, look, I really don't remember. I remember it being in the family where it was a bit of a joke how Papa Great, used to have this car and never really did. I think he bought it because... parents had this Toyota dealership. Yeah.
That's a fucking... That's like, I don't know, man. You're living in Leeton and fucking all of a sudden you're buying a dealership in Leeton.
Well, it was it was a bit of a blowout because, so I went to Leone Public till 6th class and then went to Nepean High. So this would have been, I don't know, in the late 70s, 80s, something like that. No, late 70s. Yeah, and then came back. Like I went to about maybe 5 or 6 high schools.
Yep.
So always the new kid.
Yeah.
So that was always a bit of
always a fucking shit.
Yeah, that was
it's always a shit experience.
It's always trying to meet trying to blend in. Like, and different schools have their different coolness. And so always met the bullies. That's all.
Were you one of the cool dudes, were you, Darren?
No, not really. No, well, yes and no. Depended on the school. When we went out country, definitely not the cool kid out country. I was deemed as the rich city kid. So
who came into town and bought the dealership?
Yeah, pretty much.
That my brother's father was going to buy. And...
all that sort of stuff. So, and then by the time we got back up. By the time we come back to Penrith and then went up to the Central Coast, went up to Gosford, and we stayed up there for my teenage years, which was good. I loved Gosford. That was great. It was a good, It
was all right. Place. Did you go to year 10 or year 12?
I actually went to a year 11 at Lisero High, and then came home one day and just went like, I don't want to do this. And my good mother was like, well, if you don't want to do school no more, you're going to leave.
Get a job.
You leave tomorrow and you get a job.
Yeah.
And
there was no going on the dole. I remember my dad. My dad was adamant that he didn't care if we left school in year 9, 10, 11 or 12, But there was no fucking way. As long as he looked at it and go, there's no way. As long as my ass points south, that you were going on the fucking dole.
Oh fuck!
It was just not a fucking option.
It wasn't looked upon as being an
option.
thing to do.
Yeah.
No, and we're talking back in where, you go to the place called the CES.
Yeah, and look on those
and look
boards.
on those little boards that had all the jobs and stuff.
And I'm not against giving people money who are unemployed. Like,
definitely not.
If you need the money, you fucking need the money. You got to eat. You got to live. You got to.
We're all on a journey, mate.
So I'm not against the dole.
No.
But back when in the 70s or 80s, when I was getting to 16, it was just if you fucking even mentioned going on the dole. Fuck, there'd be a blow up.
Oh, totally. Well, it was a very different time as well, where there appeared, looking back on it now, I remember there was a lot more opportunities to get a job.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter what it was, I've done many jobs over the years, and I've never looked at a job and gone, oh, fuck, no, I'm not doing that. I look at it and go, well, it's a source of coin for me to do a job, get some coin, and then I look at something else. But while I'm doing this job,
and that was the thing. Like, just go and fucking labour with that dude, get a job in the shop, drive that fucking truck, whatever.
Because ultimately, it just gives you that it gives you that mindset of I've got to be somewhere. I've got to get up in the morning and be somewhere, or get up in the afternoon and be somewhere. And you can take that anywhere you fucking go. So you woke up and so you were going to leave school. Your mum said you're leaving tomorrow if you're leaving. Leaving tomorrow, and I ended up getting a job at Lowe's Menswear at Hornsby.
Lowe's fucking menswear.
I know, right?
Selling fucking skivvies.
Selling City Club pants. Go Lowe's Menswear. Selling City Club pants to old men, and look, it gave me an opportunity to engage with the public.
Yep.
Which I quite enjoy that side of things doing. And then then I moved on to
all I'm saying is the fucking footy players at Lowe's.
we had Lowe's. What was his name? I can't remember his bloody name. I can see his face.
Fuck, I bought all my clothes from Lowe's back in the
friggin' oath,
that's the only place we would go.
Mate, they probably still got them. Like City Club Menswear, Botany Bay Trader, I think was a Lowe's bloody brand. They had these.
They sold the school uniforms.
Wash and wear.
Most of the school uniforms came from Lowe's.
Yeah, Lay and Bro.
They fucking dressed the fucking. They dressed the whole fucking. I don't know, a generation.
They dressed the community, mate.
People.
That's the thing. Yeah, it was everywhere. But that was hilarious. And then I ended up moving to. A lot of people wouldn't know it was called BBC, and that used to Knock and Curb. It used to be Knock and Curb.
BBC became
Knock and Curb.
Might attend, didn't it?
Well, no, it became Bunnings.
Oh, BBC became Bunnings, didn't it?
Yeah, so there was Knock and Kirby's, and then BBC came along, and then BBC bought Knock and Kirby's, and then down the track over time. It became Bunnings.
Yeah.
So people, that's many, many years.
Used to be Hudson's.
But Hudson's is still around in Penrith. I can't believe it. Yeah. So that was, I stayed there for a while. And then I remember the day I was at BBC at Hornsby, and I looked, in those days you still look for jobs on the paper, and opened up the paper, and there was a job for a hospital. And so I applied for a position at the hospital, and that was pretty cool, a wardie or whatever, and that's just started me in health, mate.
Yep.
So then I just went from health, and I pretty much been in health now for this is my 33rd year
as a wardie.
No, many different things, man. Many different things. I started as a wardie, and strangely enough, only a few months ago, I met my first boss as that was the senior wardie. Saw him again. He hasn't changed a bit. That was weird.
What's he like? 150,
mate. He looks like the same guy that I did when I was mid-20s and stuff. It was so weird to see him. And then I did wardie for a while. I loved doing that. That was a great job. That was a really hands-on job. And then I moved into like aged care and disabilities and youth and drug and alcohol. I have fingers in lots of pies.
Yeah.
I was really lucky, really lucky. I always find there was a period of time where I went through job opportunities came up, and I just said yes to them. Yeah. Fuck it, I'll give that a go. Fuck it, I'll give that a go. If it comes to you, if someone's offering you an opportunity,
just take it. Yeah,
fucking take it. So so it's funny because you always think that you want to get to a certain point in your career. You want to rise, and that's where I was. I was like, I want to rise. I want to change.
Yep.
I want to change the system. I want to do all that sort of stuff, and started taking opportunities. Ended up working at TAFE for a while, teaching people at TAFE. Particularly in aged care and leisure and health and things like that, which I really loved. And then opportunities came, like I said, and organisations got in touch with me, and I was on that wave.
You're on the fucking,
mate, I'm on the way up.
Rise, mate.
Yeah. And
always strive for mediocrity.
Oh, mate.
I'm on a fucking slow fucking rise.
Here I come, baby. Here I come.
Look out.
Here I am. I'm here to rule the world.
Be mediocre.
And you get to the top and you realise, hang on a tick, not everyone has that same idea of what you want to do, and not everyone is kosher for what
you want to change it from the inside, but no one wants to. The scoop is nobody wants to fucking change it.
Well, no, because change means I have to do maybe something different.
Yeah,
one of those biggest things is like, we've always done it that way.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, let's try this. So, we tried that, but let's go back to, our original way. We've always done it this way. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And look, looking back now, I did make some changes which I can see, which crop up later on in life, and you go, I was on the right fucking track.
Yeah.
But hey, so then I realised that I had too many fingers in the pie. Way too many fingers in pies, and it was starting to obsess. I was becoming obsessed with the change.
With work.
Yeah, and if there's anything working in health, you realise that your life can change so quickly.
Yeah, and look, I've only had 3 jobs. I was a apprentice electrician for 6 months. I spent just short of 7 years in the military, and then I worked for the secret agency, which I don't mention on the podcast. And so I know fuck all about other jobs, but I'm just not career minded, eh?
Yeah.
I've got a good work ethic.
Yeah.
I like my job. I've liked my jobs over the years, but I've got fucking no desire to be running the show.
Yeah, totally.
And I guess you need people. I look at those people and think, fuck man, there's more to life than that. But you know what? They probably look at me and think, fuck man, you've been doing this for so long and you're still in the middle. And they probably look at me and think, fuck, you're an idiot. You should have been trying to get to the top. Yeah. So I guess it takes, I guess it's just, you don't see it coming up, but it takes people like that and people like me to make the world go round. And
totally.
I like the way I look at it, and they probably like the way they look at it.
Mate,
don't know.
You're a link in the chain.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It doesn't matter where you are in that chain. You're still part of that chain. And you're exactly right, bro.
And I don't mind fucking cutting that link out.
Mate, I don't mind
fucking you off anytime.
It took me a good kick in the balls, honestly, a swift kick in the balls to come off that wave to go, hang on a tick, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I used to come home, we were living in a place in the mountains, and I'd come home and I'd see my boat. Now, I was pride myself. I bought a boat when I was on that wave.
Yep.
And, we could afford it. It was great. It was only a small boat. Great boat.
Same boat you got now?
Yeah, that's the boat I've got now. I've had that for 10 years now.
Yeah.
And, I'd come home and I was so busy, or I was so, never using the boat. And I remember a guy saying to me, there's only 2 good times that you have a boat, when you buy it and when you sell it. And I was like, fuck no, man, that's not going to be me. And it was starting to be me.
Yeah.
Where I just look at this fucking
Yeah.
boat and go, what the fuck? Like,
What's it
I'm not
doing?
using it. I'm not using it. So and let's be honest, when I fell off that wave, because that's what I did, I fell off, I started to go, okay, I want to start.
There's living to do.
There's living to do, man.
Overwork.
You know,
And look, you've got to have a work ethic.
You
and
do.
You've got to care about what you're doing.
Totally.
But at the end of the day, I don't want to fucking be at my funeral and have people that have worked with me in the secret society say, fuck, he was good at that. I want my kids to stand up and say, fuck, he was a good dad. And he fucking enjoyed life.
Jesus, yeah, that's exactly right, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I don't tend to think about what people are going to say about me when I pop off.
Yep.
I'm more now about, and I used to, because that's what kind of gets drilled into you. You know, turn up and be this and be that and be this. I look at it now and go, okay, well, look, I'm just doing the best I can. None of us come with instructions. Yeah. None of us. And we're all, when we're parents, as your good self,
Yep.
you're just trying to do the best you can.
Yeah.
You know, through your experiences, you're trying to help your young ones experience their life the best that they can.
Yeah, and you try and stop them from making mistakes, but you think sometimes, fuck, you just got to let them make
You
that.
just got to let them go.
It's difficult sometimes.
You
can see the mistake coming and you think, you know, I've just got to fucking let that mistake happen.
Oh, mate, totally. And that's probably, as a parent, one of the most difficult things. And I never you don't until you're a parent yourself. Yeah. And then you look back and you go, oh, that's the reason why my fucking parents are the way they were. Yeah. You know, so... Yeah, so
good, bad, or indifferent. You can see where they
do the best you can.
How they ended up. So let's go back to when you were at Lowe's.
Yeah.
What was Darren like outside of work? Party animal? Surfing,
fishing? Party. So fishing didn't come. Fishing is a huge part of my life now. However, you know, back in Lowe's, I would have only still been 18 or so, around about that. Like still very young. No, just party.
Party on.
Hard, just party.
Same pub every Friday night?
Oh, look, moved around. I was a bit of a clubber, like that sort of, like dress. When I was in Lowe's. Funny thing is, when I worked at Lowe's, I never wore any Lowe's clothes. But the money that I I was living pretty good. Back in those days, also back in those days, rent was like, $80 for a house. It was bugger all. So you could...
So you moved out of home?
I moved out. Yeah, man, I moved out of home around about 18. That was a difficult period of time, like moving out, which it is with any time. It's having to tell your parents that you're out of here. Yeah. Some parents are really cool and they go, off you go. Other parents are like, well, what are you doing? You can't afford it. I think... In my period of time, looking back, I probably could have picked the time better to say to my parents, I'm moving out.
Did they get really upset?
They did get pretty upset about it, and I think it was...
Did that surprise you? Look,
it was a very difficult period of time in our family. It really was.
There was other things happening.
Yeah, there was other things going on.
Yeah.
So, it was just a very difficult period of time. And when you're a kid, you don't realise that. You don't realise that because 17, 18, you're selfish, mate. You're selfish.
There's only one person in the world, and that's you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So you just you move out. So I moved out, but then I was only out for a couple of years, and then moved back home again because couldn't afford it. So you kind of work out. Hang on a tick. It's not all.
Well, I went to the Navy, to the military, so they fucking spoon fed you anyway. Told you what to wear and fed you 3 times a day. So life was pretty easy.
Pretty easy because that's really what you want as a human, isn't it? You want shelter, you want food, and you want a little bit of fucking loving or whatever. So
I reckon there's 4 things humans like. They like to shit, they like to shag, they like to sleep, and they like to eat. And if you get those 4 things in your life, they're all just as good as each other. Shitting, shagging, sleeping and eating.
Oh, like a wombat. Eat root and leaves.
They're the 4 things that humans like to do. You can't tell me that having a good meal doesn't satisfy as much as like if you're driving home, a couple of coffees in the bank, you're thinking, fuck, I'm going to shit my pants here. Yeah. You got the sweats going. You run through your house, you fucking panic open your pants and sit down and take that shit. You can't tell me that doesn't feel as good as having the first fucking bacon and eggs in the morning, or fucking having a shag, or sleeping, or you know what I mean? Going to bed
totally.
when you're tired.
Oh yeah, I totally.
4 things in life, man, that we
absolutely.
want.
Well, see, I've started to get it. I've been juicing for fucking 5 years now. So I love
Juice and fruit.
Juice. Yeah. I use beetroot, fruit, whatever I can get, pretty much.
You got one of those big silver.
I've got a juicer, and I juice, and a bottle will last me for 3 days, and then I juice again. And man, when I don't have that, like that, yeah,
you're hanging out.
I fucking love it.
You're fucking constipated. You can't shit.
What are they used to, up in the mountains there? Where was it? There's that hotel at Medlow Bath there. Hydro. They used to be known for colonic irrigation. Like back whenever, people would go up there.
What is it with colonic? I was actually, the last episode I had on here talking to Max and Mel, she was talking about colonic irrigation. What the fuck? Why are people so obsessed with getting their asses
cleaning your bowels out
and watching it go down a fucking tube beside you?
I have no idea, man. It's bizarre. It's so bizarre. Yeah. I think society is absolutely, it's about cleaning out your bowels.
It's bizarre.
It's so bizarre. It's like,
I know a girl, and if she listens to this, she'll know what I'm talking about. And I'm not against these fucking health trends.
No, whatever.
And I don't
do what you do.
Yeah, do you, boo?
Absolutely.
If you want to fucking colonic cleanse,
don't give a shit.
But anyway,
you should give a shit.
You
will give a shit.
You drink fucking apple juice for like 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the only thing I like about it, because I fucking love apple juice.
Yeah.
So I could drink apple juice all day. And then you fucking take some Epsom salts, which I always thought was fucking bad for you, but apparently makes you shit. And then you shit out all your gallbladder fucking stones.
Oh, really?
And apparently apple juice makes them soft, and the Epsom salts fucking
squirts you out.
Them out. And apparently you fucking shit gallbladder stones.
Really?
Yeah. You've got to be too committed for 2 weeks for me to do that.
Mate, I tell you, like beetroot. That's the go.
How long after you started juicing beetroot did you have a fucking bowel cancer scare when you looked in the bowl?
Mate, the first time. First time, the whole bowl was red, and I'm just like, holy fuck.
I remember camping with Kez. I ate a whole fucking 500-gram tin of baby beets.
Yeah.
I fucking love them, mate. Next morning, I'm taking a shit, and I'm coming outside and said, Kez, there's fucking blood in the dunny. She looked at me and said, you ate a fucking tin of baby beets yesterday, Nick, you idiot. I went, okay, I'm all right.
Yeah, okay then.
I was fucking hitting the panic buttons. I was on the way to the hospital.
Mate, when we first went to Bali, like in 96, so we got married in 96, and we're sitting in a bar, and I was still pretty wild in those days, and went out with this guy called Jim, and he'd been to Bali for like 15 years, like off and on for 15 years, so he knew the place, right?
Yep.
And a lot different now, Bali, but back then, in the 90s. And we're sitting in a bar, and this little lady come in, and she's selling skewers. And I'm like, I'd had a few bintang, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll get onto that. And he's like, oh, Darren, that
we wouldn't eat that, mate.
You should be eating that. And I'm like, it's fucking brilliant. I fucking get into that. Anyway, I'm scoffing these little skewers, little black skewers they were, and I'm scoffing them down. And anyway, she fucks off, and he says to me, you know what that was? And I'm like, nah. He said, were they good? And I'm like, fucking oath, man, they were fucking delicious. He goes, that's fucking dog. And I'm like, what? He says, I'm kidding you not, that's dog. And I'm like, get fucked. Anyway, the next morning, mate, I was
sick.
I was shitting through an iron needle. Honestly, it was like, yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Everyone who goes to Bali ends up with the fucking squirts, hey? Like,
well,
do you actually enjoy the holiday? Do you spend your whole time shitting?
Man, that was the first couple of times. Now it's fine. No worries.
Worries. I've never. I must admit, I've got no desire to go to Bali.
It's
too fucking hot for one.
I think it depends on where you go, man. I think it depends on where you go in Bali. If you just go to Kuta, then you might as well just walk down the main street, Parramatta or whatever, because that's what it's like.
Go local RSL pub.
Yeah, pretty much.
Be on the pub on a Friday
Pretty
night.
much, yeah. But if you want to get out and experience it, it's a fucking beautiful part of the world. Absolutely gorgeous.
So where do you go when you go over there?
So we tend to go, well, we haven't been back for a couple of years because of the old COVID. But around about the June, July, August, because that's a bit of a windy time. As
For
kites.
kites, yes.
For
Yeah,
kites,
we'll talk about kites.
Yeah, we'll talk
eh?
about kites,
We'll fucking spend an hour talking about kites.
So we tended to go around there. And because around about that time, I think it was school holidays and all that sort of shit. But we actually went to Vietnam just before COVID came on.
A lot of people go to Vietnam now, eh?
I love Vietnam as well, man. Vietnam was absolutely bizarre, beautiful. The bizarre thing is that when we were in Vietnam, it was like a couple of months before COVID hit Australia, and I remember sitting in this little restaurant sort of thing, and there was all these signs around talking about fist pumping, and you shouldn't be handshaking and all that sort of stuff, and we came back to Australia, and I remember making a comment to the boys about it's fucking everyone encouraging fist pumping.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And no one had even heard about COVID. And then we come back to Australia and everyone's like, oh, don't shake hands. No, don't shake hands. Fist pump, fist pump. And I was like, oh, maybe that's what was going on. Everyone else knew except for good old Aussie.
Good old Aussies, mate.
Good old Aussie. We're walking around going, hey, yeah, mate, shaking everyone's hand.
What do you mean wearing a mask? Fuck, mate, if you saw, and honestly, if you saw, because a lot of the Asian people wore masks and have been for years and years.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And they would wear masks in Sydney and Australia. And back in 90s, 2000s, you'd see
you look
Chinese
at them
people.
and go,
Oh, what the fuck?
What are you doing?
And you're thinking they've got a cold probably.
Yeah,
They're probably being
right.
actually nice to you by not fucking...
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
They're probably not worried about catching something off you. They're probably thinking, I'm unwell.
I'm unwell, so I'll do it because that's what I've been taught to do. And we're like, nah.
And when you live with 300 million fucking people, you can't fucking stand in a queue of a cold like we can in Australia.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And then we tend to cough in our hand. We cough in our hand.
And then
shake our hand. Is that what you do? Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah,
absolutely hilarious. Yeah, crazy.
So when you were a bit of a clubber, as in, are you talking like music, sort of like
Well, they used to call it a disco in those days, didn't they? So just that sort of stuff, and just kind of just trying to enjoy and just party, but I just went down a period of probably self-destruction. When I think about it, when I look back at it, pulled through the other side. My grandmother, grandmother used to say that, boys or young men don't get their shit together until about 27. Looking back on it now.
Yeah, they're not far off.
Would have been about right. Would have been about right.
So you don't like to talk about that? What you said, you're on a bit of a path to destruction?
That's not that I don't like talking about it. It didn't. No, not at all. I just I partied hard. I was never really. I just went off the rails, mate. Grog got me. That's what it did. Grog got me, and just I ended up, probably one of the better things that I did was got involved in health, because where I was at that time, I was still able to party. However, I lived at the place where I was working as well, which was really good, and met some really good people. Partied hard, like my grandmother said, till about 27.
Yeah, then you work it out.
And then I kind of worked out. And then you kind of get to a fork in the road and you go, well, if I continue down this way, I'll probably end up dead.
So you were heading down the road.
I was heading down the road.
Alcoholism.
I got married to my first wife at 21, 22, something like that.
Yeah, I got married at 20.
Had a child as well. And, wasn't ready. Wasn't ready for that. So my eldest from my first marriage, he's like 33 now. And he's a good fella. Good fella. He's struggled in his life as well. But he's come round. I think that's what happens. We all eventually just come round.
Most 95 or 99% of people, they might make bad choices or something, but most people get it back.
Get it back.
Back on track. And we don't, and I've said in other episodes, but we don't see those, you don't hear those success stories. And it's not really, I'm not saying it's a success story. I'm saying that sometimes, like you said, you get to a fork in the road and you think, if I keep going down that road drinking, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I need to change what I'm doing. And here you are today, living your life. But so you didn't, it's not really a success story. It's just you made the right choice at some point. And 99% of people make that right choice at some point.
Absolutely. Look, I think what happens is that, and those choices you make are experiences. Now, I am far from a success story. However, having said that, my success comes from looking at the people that are in my life and going, okay. I don't like to call it a success story because it's not, because you weren't. It's not. I still drink. I still do.
You were living your life and you said, fuck, I'm going to have to cut back on that otherwise.
But you have to pull back, man, and go, fuck, this is not, I want to participate in the community somehow. I want to get up and be involved in something, and I think that's a really, that's a pinnacle moment that only you can have. Is that you just go, fuck, I need to be here, rather than just wandering around in a fucking daze thinking that everything's peachy while things are going on behind the scenes that you have no idea about. So that kind of once I hit about 27, I started to go, okay, and that's not saying that in the last, like I'm 54. Yeah. Like, that's not saying that I was like Peachy Keen sitting down, singing Kumbaya or whatever for the next 30-odd years, 20-odd years, But still, that was a time where, I need to. And then, then we moved
Did something happen? Like you said, there was a heap of shit going on behind you. Did something happen that made you wake up and see and think, my actions are causing...
There was quite a few things that happened over the time, mate. I hurt a lot of people. And I hurt myself. And I hurt a lot of people. And there were times where I was sitting... there were times where I felt that... there was one particular time where I felt that I should just... That's it. I'm done. And thankfully, there was a voice in the back of my head going, what the fuck, man? Come on. What do you fucking mean you're done? And we all have those times where you think, that's it. I'm checking out. But to go through with it, that's a different level. And thankfully, I really wasn't in that headspace to go through with it. Yep. I was more like, come on, man. Come on. Get this shit together. Like, come on, like, what the fuck are you doing? Come on, you can do this. And you tend to, the old mind, it overthinks, and it keeps kicking you in the balls if you let it. And I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to kick me in the balls. I want to fucking just get up and move forward, and then I met my partner now, and she. Yin yang, mate. Yin yang. Fucking hell, totally. And we went through a period of time where people go, "You're with him?" Like, what the fuck?
But that works. What's going on? Works for a lot of people, man.
It works.
Like
that's
different.
It. That's
opposite. What's that song? Opposites attract.
Opposite. That's exactly right.
And look, if anyone out there's having those thoughts, fucking reach out to a mate. Reach out. Get on the phone. There's so much fucking more support now if you're going through something like that than there was.
Totally, Nick. Yeah. Look, man. If I was at work one time, and you experience so many different things at work, particularly the work that I do, and some really heart-wrenching things. Now, back in the day, if I walked in and went, "Oh my God, I've experienced this, and I'm so upset about it," and yada yada yada, the general guys that I work with would have looked at me and gone, "Shut the fuck up!
Pull your head,
dickhead. Just fucking, grow a set of balls for fuck's sake." Now, if I come into work and I go, "Fuck, I just experienced this," and da 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 da, I feel a lot more comfortable, and a lot of people do feel more comfortable being open about
Yep.
things that you experience. And I think that's a wonderful thing. I really, really do.
Yeah, we've definitely come a long way with that kind of stuff.
Oh my God. And men struggle with that. But because it's looked upon as being a sign, not all, but a sign of weakness. If I talk about what I feel, then I'm weak. Well, that's a crock of shit.
Yeah, men can be real fucking stupid sometimes.
Oh, fuck, man.
And myself included.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's really okay to go, listen, man, I just experienced this and this was shit. And it's fucked me up a bit and I need to talk about it.
Yeah.
And if you have people around you who go, yeah, fucking just talk to me about it, then that is not a sign of weakness. That's being human. That's being a person and going, fuck, what do you reckon? And that's a good thing.
And I guess that's when you get to our age, that's when you can, at our age, we can see that.
Yeah.
As a 19 and 20-year-old, you can't. But that's why we've got to be there for the 19 and 20-year-olds.
That's exactly
say,
right.
Fucking, how you going? And I say it to my son, and I've been doing it for a long time. I always say, him, just checking in on your mental health, man. How you feeling? Fucking, is there anything happening in your life that's fucking upsetting you? Are you travelling all right?
Oh, yeah.
I say to my daughter too, is anyone bullying you? I said, how is it online?
What's doing? Yeah.
Someone asking you to send nude pictures that you shouldn't be?
Fuck yeah.
So it's all right to talk about it. I usually get the eye roll and go, yes, Dad,
it's all right,
fine.
yeah.
All right, just be aware I'm here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just being there on whatever level you can be there as a parent, but also just as a person as well. We used to play this game with the boys. I don't think it's a game as such, but it was like, you can ask me anything.
Yep.
Absolutely fucking anything that you're wanting to know about me as a dad, as a whatever. And then, but the kicker is I get to ask you anything.
Yeah.
Yep. And we have to both be open and honest about what our answers are going to be. And, one of the boys was like, yeah, he was right into it. Both, but one in particular. And I remember sitting on the boat one time and it was like, Dad, can we play that game? And when they initiate that, you go, okay, there's something on their mind that they want to fucking talk about.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Fucking, yep. What do you want to ask me? Dad, have you ever X, Y, Z? Yeah, mate. Yep. Have you, so it was good. And that was one of those moments where you look at being a parent going, okay, well, this is working out okay. This is what I thought it might be like,
Yeah.
And you feel good about that, So, yeah.
Yeah, because it's scary being a parent, eh? I don't think people fully understand the fucking fear. Like when they're babies, you think, what the fuck? They're just pooping machines and they cry and but as they get older, I think you worry more as they get older, eh?
Oh, but when they're a bit younger, you kind of have an element of control.
Control, yes.
You do. You poop, I clean you. You eat, I give you food. You sleep, I'll tell you when to go to sleep. All that sort of stuff. So there is an element of control, and then you start to lose that control as they start to. Contact the rest of the world.
I remember a bloke saying to me years ago, he said when he realised his children are going to have role models other than him, he found it to be much easier.
Oh,
and I think that's something I try to remember because now my son is out working, he's got mates, he speaks to other mates' parents, that you've got to...
Totally, man.
Yeah. And there's times that my son rings a good mate of mine about stuff I don't even know about.
Absolutely,
and I'm happy for
Nick. No, I agree with you, man.
He's got someone to ring. And I'm all for that sort of thing,
Absolutely. I think I can't speak for my wife on. However, I speak as a male role model in my boys' lives. Most definitely, I did. It wasn't a struggle, but there was an element of like, oh, he's talking.
Yeah, I was the same.
Now.
Yeah. The first couple of times he spoke to me, mate, or he started working, I was thinking. All right.
So am I losing him? And what's going on? All those stupid things go through your mind.
It gets in your head, and then you think, well, no, if he's it doesn't matter if he's reaching out because he's got a problem or he's getting his advice from somewhere else.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. My middle boy, he in his job, he ended up working with some really excellent role models. So lucky for him, and like it was like he had. I won't say a second dad. I don't mean like that. However, he had a male role model that he can confide in things that perhaps he didn't want to
talk to Dad about.
Talk to me about. Yeah. And that's cool, man. That's cool. That's great. I mean, I have my own father. However, I have a guy that I've known for many years, and when I'm a little bit like, out of sorts, I'll reach out for him and go, hey man, can we have a chat?
Yeah.
And that's cool. And that's what you want in life. Because if you only have one particular role model, you're only going to get that view. You're only going to get that role model's view, that person's view, and you need many people's views at times so you can make a correct. Well, that's how I think anyway. So then you can make your own choice. When the boys were growing up and still now, and they'll ask, what should I do? I'm like, well, you've either got choice A or choice B. I ain't going to tell you what to do because you know.
And that's hard too, to let go of that, man. To say.
But whatever you decide to do, I'm going to back you. Your mum and I are going to back you, whatever choice you make.
Yeah.
Because it's your choice. That's the thing. And I think that's important.
Why does he reach for my wallet when
that's right.
One of those decisions we made. Like, how much is this going to cost me?
What is it going to cost that much again? All right. Well, we'll help you
What are we doing? Fucking changing another CV joint?
Stop it. Oh,
what
God.
Snap today?
Oh, what Snap today?
As they go forward driving, I've got fucking PTSD. The phone rings and it'll be my young bloke, and I think, oh, for fuck's sake, what's he done this time? I say, what's wrong? He goes, nothing, just ring up for a chat.
Wanted to ring up to check in. Oh, okay, good on you. Thanks for that.
Yeah, like the time they went missing on the fucking Nepean River that night. Fucking hell. Off they fucking go in their boat, fucking
miles up the river.
They buy a boat and off they go. No fucking nav lights.
No, nothing. Probably not even enough fuel.
So they fucking get off the boat and walk down a creek fishing and fucking wonder why. We're thinking at 8:30 at night, we're thinking, righto, if they're not back by 9, we're ringing the cops to say our kids have gone upriver and we haven't heard from them. They're supposed to be back at the ramp by sundown. It's been 2 hours.
Well, yeah, and the girlfriend was like keeping the guy at shutting the gate from locking the gate, and she's like, they'll be due back any minute.
You think that bike might have said, might just ring the coppers and tell them we've got a missing boat on the river? All right, so we just had a quick break, and as everyone knows, I'm fucking, I don't know if it's because I'm 52 and I've got a piss more or something. Fucking, you're actually talking about when, see if you can relate to this. When I was growing up, you'd stand at, men have the urinals, right? For all the ladies out there, men have the urinal, you stand at the urinal and you wee. All the blokes over 50 farted while they wee.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't fucking realise till I got to 50 is that you don't piss like you used to when you were fucking 20. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't come out like fucking 100 miles an hour.
No.
And you end up farting when you piss. So I actually stand at urinals now and I think, I remember being 15 or 16 at like footy matches or at the pub as a 17-year-old and the 50-year-old when he was pissing. Is that like a fair fucking assumption of like...
No, man. Look, I've got a theory on that because when you are young, right, and you go into the urinal, go to the toilet, all you want to do is get in there and get the fuck out. So you're in there, you piss fucking like 100 miles an hour and you get the fuck out. When you're our age, you get in there, you piss, you have a bit of a think about things.
Should I have another beer? Probably not.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck, why did I just spend $15 on a cup of beer? This is bullshit. That sort of stuff. So that's my thought.
But do you fart when you piss?
Yeah, I probably do.
Yeah.
I probably do, but I fart any time because
I just thought it's just one of those things. Oh, you fucking you're eating fucking raw juice every day.
I got to be careful.
Fucking hell. So so we won't dwell too much on when you said like you partied on. Yeah. Let's talk about kites, man. Because when Darren first got here, he mentioned something about kites, and I got a mate named Greg up here who lives up in Wollongbar. And I started working with him in the secret society that I work for. And he said, fuck, come down. I was living in Cronulla. And he said, come down to Green Hills, we'll fly a kite. Yeah. I always sort of liked kites. So he says, come down. He pulls this fucking two-line kite out, and we're flying this kite. And it was like fucking, I don't know, man, like, because like surfing, you know how people go surfing. I went surfing in Cronulla.
Yeah.
Never got bit by the bug.
Yeah.
I could take it or leave it. Like, you know what I mean? I like swimming in the ocean, get on a surfboard. Yeah, it's fun, but, fuck, it's not me. Now, my wife, for instance, went surfing once and went, fuck, it's like, it's the holy grail of it's what I need to do to survive.
Yeah, that's cool.
But this is what kite flying was for me.
Yeah, man.
I saw him put this kite up and I thought, fuck, this, I need a kite, So I went out and bought a kite and I called it Sputnik. And we used to fucking go down Green Hills at Cronulla and fly kites for hours and hours and hours.
There's just something about it.
And you don't see people doing it anymore.
You don't see people doing it. And I think it's a, for myself, it's a stress relief. I just feel good.
It's just like mindfulness, isn't it? You're sort of just staring at, you're not really...
Well, I used to, so like, I'm a heavy fisherman myself as well. So when I'm not fishing, I get the same thrill of throwing a kite up. So that pull on the line and watching it like move around and finding the wind, I get great joy out of that.
Yeah.
I was saying to you before, I can have like up to 3 kites, but I only use single string.
Yes, I like the double. I like the double.
That takes a lot of skill, man, to do.
I quite like doing the doubles.
Most
and I remember seeing a YouTube video years and years ago. I watched for ages and ages, and it was a bloke who had kites on. I think he had them on doubles, but he had like 2 in his hand, a couple on his hips, his knees, and he's flying these 5 kites around, and it's like classical music, and I'm thinking, and he's just like fucking moving. I'm thinking, fuck, man, that's
awesome, isn't it? And some of those places, like there's a place, I think it's in Germany, maybe, that comes up on social media sometimes, where they have these massive, massive kites that like a size of whales and things like that. That's just cool, But up here in the mountains, we're very lucky because we have spots that we can, and we got wind. Yeah. So that's one of the main things. This time of the year, like June, July, August, that's your windy period up here. So
I had a kite once, and it was made by a guy in Coffs Harbour.
Yeah, yeah.
And I flew it at Bulls Camp Reserve in the Blue Mountains. Now, for those thousands of listeners I've got overseas, Bulls Camp is a rest area down the road from where I live, which, funnily enough, the council has banned camping at. But
have they?
Yeah, you remember a couple of years ago, you'd have 30 or 40. Now the council's cancelled fucking camping there. No one's there. I used to think that the local shops here, where I live, should have sent a courtesy bus down there in the afternoon and said, hey, guys, fucking, we've got a supermarket, a butcher's, a baker, a fucking fruit shop.
Absolutely.
There's 50 of you camping. Come on up, free bus. Imagine the money they would have made. But anyway, Bulls Camp Reserve, I flew me kite there, and this fucking howling gale, right? Could barely fucking hang on to it. So anyway, fast forward a couple of months, I'm holidaying in Coffs Harbour, and I take the kite into this guy. And it's like, you know that Seinfeld episode where Puddy's the mechanic? And he's fucking the mechanic's having to go.
Having to go. And
he's looking at me kite, he's going, what the fuck have you done to this? He's like he's looking at the string and then he's going, what have you done to it? And so I was flying it in the wind. He goes, how fucking strong was the wind, man? And he's like, dead set. He's like, fucking, what have you done to my fucking kite,
he's giving it to you.
So he fixed it up and
kite
we went. Charged me $40 and but he looked genuinely upset that I'd flogged this kite to the point where he could barely untie the strings and shit.
How bizarre.
I thought, fuck, this is bizarro world we're living in.
Well, we don't and we were saying before, there used to be a kite shop in the mountains years and years ago.
Yeah, I do remember going to it.
You're exactly right. We don't see many kites around. Having said that, last weekend, I think it was, they had the Kite Festival down in Penrith at the showground there at the Paceway. But it wasn't... because it was so windy that day as well.
Was it too windy?
It was too windy for it, because you just need that breeze that just doesn't blow the fuck out of it.
So, the day I was flying this kite in that wind, it would fucking take off.
And that's
the whole kite was like,
it's just like, any minute I'm going to lose.
So I probably shouldn't have been flying me kite up there. But my mate who I used to fly, who got me into it, man, like I said, we would fucking spend so much time just green hills on the beach. Beautiful. And look, I live in the mountains.
Beach flying's perfect.
Yeah, I don't bushwalk.
Yeah.
As people have heard on other episodes, but I do like the beach.
Yeah, man.
Even though I live fucking 120 kilometres away from it. But yeah, standing there in green hills, man, flying a kite, got the ocean in the background.
Beautiful.
That's fucking living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I totally agree with you there.
Smoking a ciggy.
Having a can and just watch it. Oh, man, that's fucking bliss for me.
And you said you got a box kite.
Yeah, I have got a box kite. I found that on the side of the road. I'm a bit of a...
Yeah, you are a bit of a fucking scavenger.
I like finding things on the side of the road. I do acquire different things on the side of the road.
I do believe your son...
I love a council throw-out.
Your son has picked up that
yeah, he does. Yeah, he loves a council throw-out as well. Yeah. Actually, we all do, bar my wife. So that's...
Does she just shake her head?
Yeah, pretty much.
She'll pull over and go, oh, for fuck's sake, Darren.
Another.
You know we can afford to buy one of those.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Another ute full of shit. But I do tend to, like, I can move stuff on now and then.
So how did you find a box kite on the side of the road?
It was all wrapped up.
Like
and I was just driving along council throw-out. And look, I can't drive past council throw-out. I'm pretty good now. I've been doing it for a fair few years, so I'm pretty good at spotting things, whether it's just a bunch of shit or whether someone's actually cleaned out their home and, you know, and put stuff out. So I tend to drive a bit like a drive-by, just slowly pass, have a bit of a look, and if I don't spot anything straight away, I might keep going. But I've picked up like metal detectors and all sorts of stuff. You know, one man's junk's another man's treasure.
I actually, when I was about, I don't particularly like surfing, but I found a surfboard in a council pickup.
Oh, you want a surfboard, mate? We got
but I found one when I was about 8, and it was like a big wooden plank and had a big fucking fin on it. And my dad did the fiberglass in the front and then wrote
wing keel
painted fucking the plank on the front. We used that for years, eh?
Yeah.
But they don't have the council pickups anymore. You got to book it in.
I know.
They don't it sort of ruin the excitement of.
Well, and I think and some of the council throwouts now are just total rubbish. People are just either moved out and couldn't be fucked moving their shit, so they just throw it all out onto them. Yeah. And that's a shame. That's an absolute.
Yeah, my wife likes to pick up stuff occasionally. In fact, I saw something at the top of the driveway one day. I went to work. And I thought, I bet I'll come home and it's in my fucking garage. Well, sure enough, I came home and there it was.
Well, before I came here this morning, mate, you've got one just up the road, so I just stopped.
Did you get anything from it?
No, I didn't get anything from it.
Okay, you can have a look at my trailer on the way if you like.
Oh, thanks, mate.
It's full of CDs and DVDs if you want them.
No one uses CDs and DVDs anymore.
Well, fuck it. My daughter's spending all the money on vinyl.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how what goes around comes around?
I think it's more tactile. I think she enjoys the whole process of putting it on, playing the song. Yeah.
Different sound quality as well, I think, which is good, which is really good.
So she spends all the money on that.
Before kites, I used to have rockets. Got stuck in for many years with.
I wouldn't mind having a go on the rocket.
That's pretty cool fun, man. That's cool fun.
Because you buy those.
You can buy a whole kit.
You buy the engines, don't you?
Yeah. The engines are really good. They're just and you have like a little button that hooks to the engine, and you press the button. It's like it takes up. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I had one with a camera on it, and I was so stoked. It was my first one that I did, and I was so stoked. It was going to go up like a couple of 100 meters and stuff, and then take photos and everything. And I
blew up on the.
I set it up and it went up, and the big gust of wind fucking blew it into the bush, and I never found it again. It was I was fucking devastated.
And that was the 78.5s. Started by the rocket.
That's right.
We're not sure what started the 78.5s, but fucking.
That's exactly right. I remember my face just watching it drift off into the fucking bush. I spent about 2 hours trying to find it. Couldn't find it. No, fucking God. So I ended up building more, but and that's when I started getting the kites.
Yeah, so I also got stuck into remote control cars, eh?
Oh, yes.
In fact, I bought one a couple of years ago and I fucking used it for like 2 weeks.
Sitting
in the fucking shed doing
We've got a whole box full of the petrol operated
they're pretty cool,
controls. Eh? Yeah. My eldest boy, my middle boy, he's got them. So and every now and then I'll say to him, "Do you want to get rid of these?" He's like, "No, I want to." So
you'll get rid of them, then they'll be worth money one day.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But petrol operated ones, yeah.
So you do a fair bit of fishing.
Yeah, I love fishing.
Is saltwater fishing or freshwater?
I do. I mainly do saltwater.
Yep.
Mainly saltwater. I have delved into with your boy and my boy delved into a bit of freshwater.
Yep. They're always telling me, come down and fucking have a fish, man. We'll catch something. They fucking haven't caught anything.
No, I haven't caught jack shit.
They're full of shit.
Yeah, they are full of shit.
Yeah.
They the young ones, mate.
I'll get his fucking $60 bill for a lure.
Yeah. That's
So what are you going in there for? I've got to get me lure. It cost me $60
because I lost me last one. Yeah, but actually, salt water for me is
So when I lived up at Maclean on the north coast, and
beautiful.
I used to fish.
Maclean
I
River.
was like a fucking mad on the Clarence River, and it took me a long time. Clarence. It took me a long time, but I could catch flathead on soft plastics. But you're more of a bait dude.
I like bait. However, yesterday we went out yesterday and we were down at Port Hacking, and we were hooking on to Australian salmon.
Yep.
Like, yeah. And I was using a lure.
Yeah.
Like, Zavi was,
So I don't use lure bait. I never liked bait,
Yeah.
And so and then when I moved back to the mountains, I sort of just stopped going.
Yeah.
Because it was so far to drive. The kids were little, and so I sort of like stopped fishing.
Yeah.
So I think I lost that I stopped fishing, took up guitar and changed passions, I suppose.
And that was the thing, like when we were talking before about like, when I was working and stuff and looking at my boat, that was sending me down a path of like, here's my fucking boat and I'm not using it. So when I pulled it all back and, got the job that I've got now where I'm just content, I'm happy, I turn up, have a good time, do the best I can, and on my days off, I go fucking fishing, amongst other things. But it's an important part of my life to just be out on the water. And so I fish down the Georges a fair bit. I'm a bit of a bream fisherman. I love bream.
Yeah.
And just being out there. But I can have, I have hand lines. I am a bait fisherman.
Yeah, you like having.
I have about 20 fucking lines out, mate. And I've had times where 5 gone off at the time. So I'm like,
Yeah, you like bait fishing with rods you found on the fucking.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Yeah, pretty. Yeah,
whereas I come out fishing with all the nice stuff and the lures.
Yeah. Well, see, I have a bit of a laugh when I watch fishermen go into these bait and tackle shops and there's guys selling them $300-400 bloody rigs and stuff, and here I'm standing there with it.
But having said that, like I've bought $300 or $400 rigs back when I was working on the North Coast and earning heaps of money, and they're still going.
Yeah,
well, so they do last.
You look after them. Yeah. That's the thing. So even I love a hand line personally. I love a hand line.
Yeah.
I was really lucky. A friend of mine gave me a lot of vintage. I like using vintage stuff as well.
Yeah, actually, my beach rod, the beach rod I've got, my wife's grandfather bought in 1972, and I actually had it and it fucking weighs a ton.
Yeah,
but you know what? There's just something about standing on the beach with this old fishing rod.
Absolutely.
I just fucking love using it.
And I totally agree with you. That's what I love to do. Is like if I can, catching the fish is that's great. It's absolutely great. However, being able to, I like cleaning the reels up and then using them out there and catching something. It doesn't matter how big. I don't give a fuck about that. Doesn't really bother me.
I actually love beach fishing and I like stink bagging for worms.
Oh,
yeah. I fucking love doing that.
See, I could actually go out and just collect bait all day.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to just pull up worms.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or pump nippers or just. I really love. We were down at Maruya one year, and there was an Indigenous man down there, and he was teaching and showing me how to collect oysters and stuff, and then not pickle them, but put them in like a brine to toughen them up a bit and things like that. And that was really
use
cool.
as bait.
And use as bait, and that was really cool. And then looking at different mollusks that you can use. So I love that sort of stuff. I could rummage or,
Yeah, look, I could probably get back into fishing, but like I said, because I'm so far away, I think that's what killed me. And like I said, my daughter's still at school, so I don't really have the time to...
George's is about an hour and a half from here, and then yesterday we were down at Port Hacking. It took us like two and a bit hours.
Have you ever been off... I don't want to sound like a nerd, but my daughter and I like to plane spot. Like we like to go and sit at airports and watch planes take off.
Nothing nerdy about that, mate.
Anyway, so we found the Botany boat ramp. Have you ever been in there?
Yeah, I have.
I actually said to Ab, come down here with Max's boat.
Yeah.
Fuck, go out there and watch planes so I can land, eh?
Mate, that's perfect.
But it's actually quite a good. It's
you could
quite a
fish
fucking
and watch
good
planes at the same time.
good boat ramp there, eh?
Yeah.
Plenty of parking, like
Plenty
hundreds
of
and hundreds of
yeah,
parking
absolutely,
spaces.
absolutely. So you're talking about Port Botany there, where
Next to the container ships.
The container ships, yeah, perfect.
Like, so there's toilet. Like, last time I went there, it was fucking... Well, I remember driving there in the 70s with my old man. He'd say, hey, this is where all the fucking mafia come out to hide the bodies. I don't know if it was true or not. They're just trying to scare us or something. But you know that foreshore drive?
There is a... that's...
That
always... Right there.
My parents would always say, oh, you never come out here because that's where they fucking bury all the bodies, the mafia and the gangs and shit. So I used to like always think that was like the most dangerous place in Sydney. And I remember saying last week, my daughter said, yeah, it's a dangerous place out there. Fucking go to this boat ramp. It's like fucking toilets. There's fucking hundreds of parking spaces.
But see, the thing is that I go through the week. I go fishing.
Oh,
through
you
the
go
week.
where there's no one around.
No motherfucker on the road, on the water. No one.
And if you pick the times of driving,
that's exactly
you're
right.
not stuck in traffic. Yeah.
It's when you start heading out on the weekends where everyone comes out on the weekends.
Yeah, I went to a meeting yesterday in Artarmon. 2 fucking hours it took me to get there, eh?
Yeah.
Fucking 2 hours.
Horrendous.
It's only fucking 70 kilometres away.
I know. Well, it took us...
Oh, it's fucking dirty. I'm sitting in the car, busting for a fucking piss, thinking, fuck.
Well, we were coming back yesterday and we had to be back in Penrith before... No, we had to be back in the mountains by 4. So we left Port Hacking at... like 2:30, and there was a truck accident on the M7.
Yeah, well, that's fucked, isn't it? Yeah.
It was right back to the Hume Highway. So it was fucked.
Yesterday was fucked on the M2 because a truck broke down, for fuck's sake. It's in the fucking breakdown lane, people.
Yeah, I know.
Keep fucking driving.
I know.
Why
what
are we
the
stopping?
hell's that all about?
Fucking hell, it's broken down.
Oh, I better slow down and look what's going on.
Fucking hell.
Just drive.
I couldn't do that every day, eh?
Fuck no.
That would fucking just kill me, eh?
That'd do my head in.
Yeah.
No,
that would suck the fucking soul out of me, that traffic.
And
I don't know how people do it every fuck. And I'll get they're making a living and they have to.
Yeah.
But it would suck the soul out of me, doing that every day.
Well, did you? Yeah, maybe if public transport was cheaper, like they're doing in Queensland at the moment, 50 cents.
Yeah, 50 cents a trip.
It might encourage people to take public transport because it's fucked sitting in traffic all day.
I probably should catch public because I get it for free because of my Navy time. So I probably should catch public transport.
Oh, I like public transport. Well, buses, yeah. I like trains.
You do these. I'm up to like
trains and planes.
I'm up to like 20 fucking one episodes or something, and I'll say something. I think, fuck, have they already heard that? Fuck, I'm sure they think, yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah. Turn it off, fucking
That's
dumb.
Right. I'm sick of fucking trains.
I'll just fucking dump all the ads right at the start so they hear me ads first and they can fucking turn me off. As long as you listen to the first 10 minutes and hear me fucking commercial break.
That's all I need.
Fucking buy something. Yeah. I actually had a message. I've dropped some commercials in my episodes and I had a message. I had one complaint about my podcast. What the fuck are the ads, mate? Come on.
Really?
It's like everywhere. There's ads everywhere now, isn't there? You can't do anything
without ads.
Big fucking billboards.
Yeah,
fucking,
everywhere. Yeah. And in actual fact, like when you do travel overseas and stuff, there's billboards everywhere. It's actually more when you start to get out and about. Like I mean,
Kess was saying she was at the she was on the circular City Circle in Sydney last week, and the billboards have gone from posters to TVs. And she said there was actually sound. She was actually watching, watching TV.
Yeah.
So you can't even get away from it.
No, it's just there. It's bombarding everywhere.
So you stop bitching about the ads I'm putting in the podcast.
Shut the fuck
up. But before you fucking stop bitching about it, press fucking like, subscribe, fucking rate. Fucking move on. And I've got so many, I feel so fucking honoured that people have taken the time to listen to all my podcasts. It's good, like a crazy amount of people listen to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking...
That's awesome.
It's very fucking humbling that people want to listen to me talk that much.
Well, and I think the thing is that, when you're just sitting back and you're yakking, that's,
It's like when you're sitting in a cafe and someone's talking, you think, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah, that's right.
They're talking about bullshit. Talking about flying kites. Fucking grown men flying kites. Love flying a kite, eh?
Oh, man.
In fact, when you go home, I'm fucking going out to my shed. And I'm getting a kite out.
Mate, I have 3 kites in the car permanently. When I leave here today, I'll be calling back into Springers and I'll be flying a kite. I'll be grabbing a can and flying a kite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect,
cool.
mate.
Is there any wind down there today?
Yeah, there is a bit of wind.
So I got
a wind app.
Yeah, so where I live, as you know, I'm down a driveway and I'm sort of low, so we actually don't get wind here.
No, you wouldn't.
So I can be
straight
here with no wind and go up to local shops and it's fucking howling.
Yeah.
Then I come back here, there's no wind.
No.
So if I'm getting wind along my
along here,
it's
you
fucking
know it's
howling.
windy.
Yeah. If I'm hearing the wind like making sound through my eaves, other people are getting smashed.
Yeah.
Because I rarely fucking get wind through, which is a bit frustrating in summer. When you get a bit of a breeze, we don't get it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I use a couple of apps, three apps in particular for fishing and kite flying. It's funny here in Australia, well, not just in Australia, I suppose I shouldn't generalise, but it's funny how we talk about the weather a lot.
Yeah,
so
we do.
We do talk about the weather a lot.
It's hot.
Yeah, and it's
cold.
It's fucking windy, it's fucking snowing, whatever.
I know, you get a slight forecast for snow, people start panicking.
Oh, I know.
It's like, fuck, can we get the shops, buy some fucking food?
Buy some toilet paper. I remember like when, at work and stuff, people say like, where do you live? Oh, I live in the mountains. Oh, it's fucking cold up there. I heard it was snowing today. It's like, it doesn't just snow all over the fucking mountains.
Yeah, it's like 3 degrees. It's not that fucking cold.
It's not that fucking cold.
It's not cold at all.
I still wear thongs. I'm not wearing thongs today.
But you say it's the middle of winter and they go, a low overnight of 9 and 22 in the west in the afternoon. You think, fucking 22 in the middle of winter?
Yeah, that's right. 22 is brilliant.
Yeah, that's
22 is good weather. Yeah.
It is pretty nice. So you're going to go and fly a kite on the way home. I always ask people on the podcast if I've got advice for people out there. From what advice would you give people?
In general, or to fly a kite?
Go and fly a kite. Get out there and fly a fucking kite.
Fly a kite.
In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking put some links on my website to kite shops. So
that's a good idea,
everyone who's listening, go to www.eastcoastaverages.com. Not only can you buy a really nice hat, but you'll find a link to fucking
kites, man.
mate.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
And also there's a link on that website to the equipment I use for my podcast.
Get the kites back up there again, man. Get people
kites
out there flying kites. That's what, Maybe
I'll open a shop in Katoomba, again, kite shop, and people are looking to go...
It's a coffee shop now, I noticed.
I'll give it fucking 6 months, I'll be closed.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I bought a lot of my kites online too. They sell them online and it's brilliant. It's like...
I remember going to a shop in Coogee, like I was telling you. I think it was Coogee. It was like a really well-known kite shop. I went over there and bought a couple of kites,
Yeah. I think if I had any advice would be try and turn up every day. Tell people you love them. I think that's most important. Tell people that you love them because, your situation can change so quickly in life.
Yeah.
And working in the business that I'm in, I see people ticking along and all of a sudden left the field, it just comes, kicks you in the balls. Try and live in the now. They say that. I think we dwell in the past a lot, and I think we're too concerned about what's going to happen in the future rather than just trying to tick along the best we can right now. Having that understanding that it's not all rainbows and lollipops and it's not all about TikTok, It's like, don't forget to laugh.
Yeah.
Humor is the fucking key.
Yeah.
That is my go-to.
Yeah.
Humor is the key. Don't be afraid to have a bit of a dig. We have become so serious in a lot of ways.
That's why I've got the Wankers Wall of Excellence in the house, mate.
The Wankers Wall of Excellence.
But I'll put all my certificates up. I've got a fucking sticker fucking coming. I've ordered the sticker. It's going on the wall. Wankers Wall of Excellence.
Thing it's not around, mate. The bumper sticker.
Yeah.
The bumper sticker.
Yep.
Whatever happened to that?
Well, fuck, I'll give you a sticker on your way out the door.
I will take, and I'll put it on my car because I've got a few.
Yeah.
I've got a few.
If you're fucking lucky, I'll give you a hat.
A hat as well.
Yeah.
What a fucking legend.
See what you get when you come on my podcast? Mate, you get a hat, mate.
Mate, I'll be back.
Anyway, Darren.
No worries, brother.
Thanks for coming to the fucking podcast.
And it's a good combo, man.
We'll come back and we'll bring Max and Zave on, and then
it's a great idea.
We can fucking back them out. For all that. We can stick it to them about all the shit they've done over the years.
Cool, man.
That's it. Go and fly a kite.
Yeah,
enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks, brother. See ya.
Like I said at the start, Darren, you had me when you said you like to fly kites. Thanks for coming up and having a chat with me. I really enjoyed it. I just want to add something about the difference between Darren and I. He, as he said in the podcast, he likes to fly the single string kites. I like to fly the double stunt kites. So the double stunt kite is going all over the air like crazy. Darren's just standing there with his single string kites up in the air watching them. We go fishing sometimes, Darren and myself. We go with our kids, and Darren will go with his son in his boat, and I'll go with my son in my boat. Now, Darren and his son, they like to do bottom bash fishing, put some bait out. They sit in the same spot, bait fishing, whereas my son and I, we fucking get in the boat, fucking move every 10 minutes, lure fish, moving here, moving there. We zoom past him, gives us a bit of a wave, and we'll fucking zoom back past him, give him another wave. But yeah, there you go, that's the difference between Darren and I. He likes chilling out, looking at the single string kite. I like flying the stunt kites that are going crazy. So come back next week, guys. Thanks for listening to the show. As always, share it on your social medias, hit like, subscribe, leave me a rating if you're so inclined, and come back next week, listen to next week's show.